Hello, Arun sir.
Hi Spencer, how are you doing?
I'm good, Arun sir. I'm doing well. I'm so happy to see you. I missed you so much throughout the streams. I was talking to Arti ma'am, and almost every day your name kept on coming up. I played matches with that day you introduced me to Abhimanyu Mishra, and then after that, I even got to meet another prodigy, Charvi, and then I met a couple of other kids as well. I even got one of my own friends on the stream. So I'm just very, very happy to be with you here. And today, the Olympiad rounds have concluded and we have the winners of the Olympiad. So I just can't wait to talk about that. And I want to hear your thoughts and everything that you can share with me. But before that, how about let's talk a little bit about the 10th round, like yesterday's conclusion and results.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we'll quickly talk about the previous results, and so that we'll bring everyone up to speed about the final round.
Correct. So, first of all, hi Earthlings. Today is going to be the last day of the stream, and I'm going to be going back to my Alpha Centauri, which now looks like a boring place to be because Earth is a very interesting place. People play chess. I get to meet Arun sir. Probably I'll get to eat biryani with him someday. I'll get to eat Mysore dosa with Aarti ma'am someday. These are the favorite dishes of the grandmasters. So, about the Olympiad round 10 Earthlings. Okay. So, Arun, sir, correct me if my information is incorrect, all right? So, about the open category, Indian 2, I think, was paired against a very, very strong team. The one who is on top, the team is Uzbekistan. And guess what happened in this match? They drew. Gukesh lost for the first time in the tournament. And Prague won the game, and rest of the players, namely like Nihal Adiban, they drew the games as well. So the score was like 2-2. So I think this is what you call a match draw, right?
Exactly, it's called a draw, and I think we have to talk about the Indian team as well as those big teams too.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
sure pretty much everyone knows about the Indian B team, how all the young guns are placed in there in the correct position to take go for the gold basically, right? But the Uzbek team is no less than the Indian B team. They were also equally good. In fact, they were clearly matching with the Indian team. Their team also had like prodigy players who were around like 17, 18 years old. And pretty much they were up to the mark with the Indian team as well. And finally, we know the results too. And they were really putting up a big fight. But when the game began, things were different. Gukesh, as we all know, ended up winning 8 out of 8 in the tournament,
Yeah.
had a phenomenal position against Abdul Sattarov from Uzbekistan. So Abdul Sattarov is again a 17-year-old prodigy player from Uzbekistan who's almost equal, or maybe I don't know, equal or better than Gukesh also. So he's also like with such a player, Gukesh ended up in a completely winning position within the first couple of hours, which is which the whole world was watching his game. Like everyone was amazed to see how Gukesh is crushing everybody.
I mean,
But
Gukesh is a schoolboy, right? If I'm correct.
exactly, he's just like you from your planet.
Right. So, I mean, this is fascinating, like how a group of schoolboys are just completely sweeping all the teams and winning against players like Fabiano and drawing against Aronian and all of these, the favorite players of the bookmakers. So, how is it possible that, a bunch of schoolboys who have not even, I mean, I think they've played like chess for a decade or less than a decade are dominating players that have been played for, I think, 2 or 3 decades, probably, if I'm right, Arun sir.
Very true, very true. See, I think when we see it right now, it feels like, yeah, they are all schoolboys. They don't even know anything much about life. It's all true. But what we are actually looking at is some of the future world champions. For
Oh,
sure, all of these guys are in that league. We never know who is exactly going to be the world champion as of now. But in future, we'll be like, yeah, I think in the Olympiad itself, it was pretty much visible. Like these guys are going to be really good. That's how we're going to talk about when all of these guys are going to make it really big in the top of the chess world. And yeah, all of these guys, every one of them, like starting with Arjun or Gukesh or Pragnananda, they played amazingly well. There were like so many wow moments in the Olympiad,
mm,
and there was also like some heartbreaking moments too, unfortunately. But yeah, that is how every sport is. So we win, we lose. Like
mm,
end of the day, it's all learning. So we come back, we learn, train harder, and come back
right,
stronger for the next game. That's it.
right. So India is becoming like the manufacturer of chess world champions, which is slowly replacing Russia, I guess. I mean, this 2-2 result, this was not actually good for India, I think, because India too was not pushed to below rank. But coming to India team one, the team was paired against Iran. In this match, I think India did have a victory. And Vidit Gujarati and Narayan, they won the games. And Pentala lost, but Arjun drew. So much drama here, but the final score was 2.5 for India and 1.5 for Iran. Correct? And
Yeah.
so the tables in the open category after round 10 were like Uzbekistan on top, and then Armenia 2, India team 2 on third rank, and then India team 1 on fourth rank. So it completely depends on round 11 who would win the gold, silver, and bronze. I mean, we have the results, but let's wait a little bit before we disclose it. So now I think I want to discuss a little bit about the women's category, Arjun sir. So I think India team one was paired against Kazakhstan. In this match, if I recollect correctly, India had a clear victory. It won by 3.5 points to 0.5 point. I mean, that's
Crushed
the
them.
best you can, yeah, crush them. That is the word. In this match, Vaishali was Pragyananda's sister, and now, I mean, Vaishali is Vaishali. She drew the game, and rest of the players, Hampi, Tanya, Bhakti, they won. I mean, Bhakti was the player five, and she played for the first time and won the game. Harika, who's by the way is pregnant, right? And she did not play the game. So this was the women's category, right? So,
I think the women's category were very much in the lead. They were completely under control throughout the tournament. They played exceptional chess. I think every one of them, starting with Humpy, everybody had everything under control. So they played a clean event going into the final round.
it's great. So now, Arun sir, I think people are waiting. We have already disclosed the results of yesterday. So for all the viewers, all the Earthlings that did not know what happened yesterday, and you just wanted to watch today's stream to save some Earthling time, the results of yesterday, and we can also tell you the results of today. So I think, Arun sir, it's time that we start speaking about Olympiad round 11, right?
Yes.
So you want to start, sir?
Yeah, definitely. So the Uzbekistan team went on to become the Olympiad champions. They went on to win the gold medal.
Oh,
Congratulations to them. It was a phenomenal effort from their young team. Uh, well, it would have been nicer if we had the Indian B team winning because they were leading the
I was
tournament.
rooting for
Uh,
India, but Uzbekistan won gold. Okay, more power to you guys. Spreading and contributing to the chess community. It was also filled of young guns, Arun sir. Uzbekistan.
exactly. So they were also just like the Indian B team, full of young players, hardly like teenage players, and they were really matching, putting up a big fight with all of those experienced players. So I think they truly deserve to become the champions. There is no doubt about that. And the second place again went to Armenian team, which is again a big surprise for everyone because, well, in the past Armenian team had done exceptionally well in the Olympiad, but they were missing an important key player for their team. Their best player, who is supposed to be Levan Aronian, who basically changed federation. He was playing for the American team, and he was not playing for Armenia anymore. But even without their best players, these guys have pulled off something amazing. So they still, well, they almost tied for the gold. So they could
Oh,
have been the winners also. So they had to settle for the silver. But even silver was not an easy job for the kind of well, they didn't even have a single 2700 player in their team. On the other hand, there were teams which had like so many 2700 players, but
right.
still they managed to pull off something amazing. And finally comes the Indian B team. They had to settle for the bronze after leading or playing exceptional chess throughout the event. They had to settle for the bronze,
So
but
congratulations, Indian team. I mean, you got bronze for the country. That's amazing. So this is the men's team, open category, women's category. Which category got the bronze, Arun sir?
so we got the open category bronze as well as I think should we open up for the women team also. Women team also went on to win the bronze. Well,
Oh,
I think
very good.
exceptional result, no doubt about that. But I'm sure, like everyone was a little bit disappointed because they were all going for the gold, and they truly deserved to win the gold. Also, they were at par with every other team. But okay, so finally, some small things didn't work out as expected. Yeah, that's exactly the
So what
small
happened?
heartbreaking
What
moment
happened
that we talked.
exactly? What do you think went wrong, or like what was the bad luck?
Well, I think for the Indian B team in the open section, so I think the Uzbekistan Uzbekistan's game was the most crucial one. So in the 10th round, they had like such a commanding position going into the game. Obviously, on paper, Uzbekistan team can be equal to the Indian team, but in the first couple of hours, I think Indian team was firmly under control, especially Gukesh completely taking up the lead against Alpha Centauri, and other boards were also like there was basically no surprise for the Indian team. Everything was under control. And as the game progressed, Nihal ended up making a draw on board two, and fourth board against Adiban ended up making a draw. So we had 1 point out of two games, and we had two more players, Gukesh and Prag, playing in the first board and the third board. And surprisingly, Pragnanda, who didn't have a great position, ended up winning the game. And Gukesh, who had a phenomenal position, ended up losing the game, which was.
So they cancelled out, right?
Exactly. It shouldn't have. It should have been like one draw and another player winning, but unfortunately, like one player lost, which basically turned the tide. Yeah, that's basically one of the important reasons for the Uzbekistan team, who survived the Indian B team in spite of all the odds against them. So yeah, that made them win the gold medal. We can.
So if let's say if Prague drew, or let's say if Gukesh drew and Prague won, so the results would have been
obviously to Indian favor. Definitely, India would have won the gold.
But more power to Gukesh. I mean, what can you expect from a schoolboy? He got like 8 out of 8. He was winning, right? And then he just drew one game.
I don't think there was anyone else who could pull off this kind of result. Like I mean, 8 out of 8. He is not playing like against school kids. He's playing the best players in the world. He beat Caruana. He beat Alexei Shirov. He beat Sargsyan for the Armenian player. He ended up having a phenomenal tournament as well. And not just that, we speak Gukesh as a schoolboy. He was paired with other young prodigies like Abdul Sattarov, or even in the final round, he was paired against Vincent Keimer, who's a Germany prodigy player. He was up to them, but without any difficulties, he was managing them and had a phenomenal tournament. I think in spite of losing that game against Abdul Sattarov, Gukesh's performance is definitely going to be talked about for many, many years to come. People are going to say well, I think this player had a good tournament, but I don't think it would match Gukesh's performance in the Olympiad. So that is how it's going to be.
Gukesh is like what Earthlings would call a benchmark, right?
Benchmark. It's a trendsetter, probably. Yeah.
And all of this beautiful performance and just amazing, execution. All of this, along with completing your homework after going back home. I'm not sure if that's true, but I mean, according to the age, that looks like to me, that's how it's going to be.
True, very true.
So what else, Arun, sir, about round?
And coming back to the women team, I think women team were under control completely, and going into the final round, they were paired against the USA team. So US women team were also like equally strong, and on the given day, I think the US women team, they performed better than the Indian team. I think there were some surprises there. Cornelia Humpy made a draw, and the main surprise was Tanya, who had a great result throughout the tournament. She ended up losing the game, and that came as a big surprise. I think Tanya's result, I think she was winning the games for the team most of the occasions. Mm-hmm. Whenever the team needed, she was the one delivering it. But somehow in the final round, I think she ended up messing up. And also Bhakti Kulkarni also ended up losing the game. I think she also had a good tournament. So I think that those were the first losses for them in the tournament, and unfortunately it came in the last round.
Right. So Arun sir, I've heard grandmasters talk on something called as YouTube, right? So I've heard what they say is like if if a grandmaster or a chess player is consistently winning a lot of games back to back, it is likely that the tilt of luck is going to go against them. So now I don't understand the concept of luck, because where I come from, Alpha Centauri, that's not true. So how what do you have to say about that? Like, if you win 7 times in a row, is there some logic behind it, or is it just a superstition?
No, obviously it's just a superstition. It doesn't make any sense. Based on that, Fischer once had 11 out of 11. So he ended up winning all the games in the tournament. So obviously, it's certainly achievable by players, and Gukesh was certainly capable of pulling that also. But okay, on the given day, I think things didn't work out for him. That's it. But I think it could have very much happened that way too.
Oh, because I was hoping, like, if you say no, there is some statistical logic and reasoning behind this, then all I have to do is play 10 games against you, and then I will have a 3%. Then I will get
But
three
okay, come
results.
on. He's still very young and also like he's growing tired also, right? Come on. It's like he's playing every single day for 5 hours and after 7 or 8 games, okay. Yeah, he will also run out of energy. That is
No,
also
no,
there. So
I
I'm sure
understand.
like other factors also add up to this. But I mean, you give him a couple of days rest, and I'm sure he's going to come back and win the other games also. Truly, when he made like 8 out of 8, I was like thinking, so very very much he's going to win all 11 games, what I was expecting. But okay, it's
Yeah,
fine, I
yeah.
guess.
So we have Ukraine for no, we have Uzbekistan in the open category for gold, right? And
Okay.
India got bronze, which is which team, Arun sir? Can you repeat the results for Earthlings?
Yeah, definitely.
And
So
then we can
Indian B
continue.
team, yeah. So the Indian B team was consisting of Gukesh in the top board, and in the second board we had Nihal Sareen, and in the third one we had Pragnananda, and then Adiban, and finally Ronak Sadwan. So this is the Indian B team.
Wow.
They did slightly better than the Indian A team also. Indian A team was full of experienced players, except for Arjun, who is still again like 17-year-old kid. And yeah, but they came fourth, by the way. So it was still not a bad result, but it would have been nicer if they could have squeezed in. And if one team got a silver, another team got a bronze, it would have been even nicer.
Wow.
But they also had a phenomenal tournament. But okay, some mistakes here and there costed them the medal, unfortunately. But still, it was still a great result for them. And going into the women's section, the women team, they had Koneru Hampi and Harika on the second board, and they had Tanya, and they had Vaishali, and also they had Bhakti Kulkarni. So they had these 5 players playing for the Indian
So
A
Arun sir,
team.
if I have to ask you in the from the women's team and all the names that you mentioned, whose style of play do you relate with the most, and whose style of play do you like the most?
The style of play, well, I think both Hampi and Harika, like I think I easily relate to them, and I have played them also in several occasions. So yeah, I think Humpy is well. It's an amazing thing to go and watch Humpy play. I think in case you guys get a chance to watch her video, you should definitely see her. Like the kind of attitude that she has while she's playing the game. Some of my friends have told me, I'm really scared of playing Humpy. Like she is like there to kill you. That's the kind of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like the energy that she brings in. So it's just amazing. She shows that sheer will to win, that motivation to win, which is just amazing. So for me personally, Humpy's attitude and Humpy's style of play is something I really admire. Like she's really great. But well, nothing less about the other players. I think everyone is like they have proven themselves
Right.
for sure in multiple occasions. Yeah,
So if
for
I've
me
already,
personally.
yeah, so if I've already asked you from the women's team, why not ask you as well from the B team? Whose style of play do you find inspiring?
Okay,
I know
so
it's
this is
a
going to be a
yeah.
difficult question for me, unfortunately, because I mean, every one of these guys, I don't know who to choose. Seriously, like Gukesh had a performance of 2860 or something. I don't know the exact number, but again, 2860, something like that. And Nihal Sareen and Pragnananda also had like around like 2770 level of performance. Like, what is this? Like, we're like talking about like top 10 players, top 5 probably. That's the
Correct.
kind of performance these guys are putting in.
Okay, let me twist the question a little bit. So I mean, this is going to be a tough question as well for you to answer, but who reflects the more characteristics as close to Vishy from the B team? Whose
Mm,
characteristics, in not just in terms of chess, but in life, in humility, in practice, effort, hard work, the will to win, you know, all of that, combining everything. Who is this closest? You think who is somewhat resembles Vishy?
okay, so I think based on that, I would say like Vishy, I would say is Pragnananda. Like, it's like, I mean, when I see Prag, it feels like he's just an younger version of Vishy. There is no doubt about that. But you know what? Mukesh reminds me of Kasparov. So
Oh,
he shows the determination to see, there's one more thing we have to add. Like, have you ever seen a photo of Gukesh online where he is smiling, laughing? I think there was one picture, and people spoke about that a lot because the photographer insisted that he gives a smile, and finally he gave a smile. Otherwise, this kid is literally like always thinking about chess, and he wants to win like nothing less than that. Like he's like, I think what goes through his mind while people are taking his pictures is, well, I should be playing game. Why am I being photographed? It's the kind of feeling I think he might be having in his head, which is like unbelievable for his age. The kind of maturity that he is showing, I think it shows like what scale he is going to reach. It's like unbelievable.
So, sir, you told me that I remember in the first day that we met, you told me that your favorite inspiration and like if you could go back in time and play, it was Fisher. So, anybody who resembles Fisher, style of
like
play.
definitely, style wise, it definitely has to go with Gukesh. His will to win is like amazing. Like he shows like that motivation to win, that that energy that he brings in. Well, that is one more point to add is like he ended up winning most of his games with black pieces. Like in a grandmaster level, usually people say with black pieces you don't get to win so much. With white pieces, it's better to play for a win. This is the kind of things that usually goes around the grandmasters. But I believe nobody said that to Gukesh, so I don't think he knows that he should be making a draw with black. I think he's just matching everyone with black.
So Gukesh is ill-informed that you have a weakness as black. It's better we stop, just delegating that information to other people.
Seriously. And having mentioned that, I think there's one more good news also for the Indian chess. That is, we have the fifth player who crossed 2700 today. I think there were so many big news today, so I think this news is not being published.
Who is that?
Anywhere. So that is Arjun Ergesi. He has also crossed 2700. And I think, if I am right, about a year back, world champion Magnus Carlsen spoke about Arjun, and he said, well, this guy plays like a 2700, and I have no idea why he is still 2600. Is what Carlsen said about Arjun. And you see him right now crossing 2700. And I think Gukesh was the previous player who crossed 2700. I think that's an old news by now. I think people would say, yeah, we know that. That's not a big news at all anymore. So, yeah, those two important achievements have also occurred apart from winning the bronze medal in this Olympiad tournament.
Correct. So, sir, India won both the bronze medals. Isn't it great?
Yeah, definitely. So the only thing is it's just that they were capable of winning the gold. So it's a little bit, heartbreaking about that. But still, for the kind of effort that they have put in, and it's still excellent result, I guess. And I'm sure they all deserve to be applauded for that.
So now it's a little bit hard to ask you, who do you think emerged stronger than they were expected?
Okay. So that should definitely go for the Armenian team, I guess. Armenian team was, the Uzbek team, still young players. Indian B team was still young players. We still don't know what their potential is. They are all definitely going to climb higher. But it was not the case of the Armenian team. The Armenian team, I think even their youngest player would be somewhere in the late 20s. And again, as I mentioned earlier, they were missing their strongest player. And with this team, they were able to pull off the silver medal, which was, I don't know if Aronian was also there in their team. Maybe they would have easily got a gold also.
Yeah.
We never know. So I think they are definitely the ones that we have to say was completely unexpected result.
Wow, that's great. And which round, according to you, Arun sir, was the most exciting round?
Well, I think that goes for several games. I think I was watching a game that was played between Prague and the Azerbaijan player. They were playing an amazing game. Pragnananda had to deliver that day. So he had to win in order to move on for the Indian B team. And on the given day, he didn't have any great position or anything. But you know what? It was clearly visible the kind of, the calmness that he was maintaining throughout the game. He was calm and composed throughout the game, even though he was under severe pressure. And his opponent, Durar Bailey, was still an experienced player. He's not he's still a 2650 player who's really experienced player. I've seen him play in tournaments in US in several occasions. He's one of the best players from Azerbaijan also. So with him, Prague had to really pull a victory, which was not at all easy, and he managed to deliver that even under severe pressure after like 5.5 hours of gameplay. In my opinion, that game was just unbelievable. So Ragnaranda really proved what he is capable of that day.
So, sir, what about the most competitive games from the entire tournament? One you already mentioned, I guess, the one with the Prague.
Prague, I think I should still go for the Prague, I guess. But I think there were so many games that people played. I think, even the game that Gukesh played against Abdul Sataro, even though, Gukesh got a clear winning position, he kept on fighting back, and until, Gukesh made the final blunder, he resisted that. That basically was the turning point. If that Gukesh had won, Indian team was surely going to get the gold. And Gukesh was firmly under control. Imagine you're talking about a player who defeated all the 8 players in the first 8 rounds, who defeated Caruana also, having a clear advantage against you. Like, just think of this moment. What will be going on in Abdul Sataro's mind while you're playing?
I have an idea. I mean, he knows all of the things that you said. So he's probably, what's going on in his mind is, I'm going all in. So he has nothing to lose. He would take all the risks that he can. He would try all the tactics, all the tricks that he can do.
Seriously, yeah, and he managed to pull off the will. So, in my opinion, that was the game changer for the entire tournament. So, I think we have to give that to Abdul Sataro for that.
So, what do you think? Like, did India perform well? Your overall review on the Indian teams?
Well, I'm sure, there is always this, unless you win the gold, it's always like, yeah, we could have done slightly better. That is always there. But for the young team who have pulled off this much, I think it's a very clear sign that we are seeing a big shift from the young players who are coming up. And in a few years' time, we will be talking about, Gukesh is the candidate. And next time, looks like Pragnananda is going to be playing for the World Championship. We are going to be talking about all these things in the future.
You're saying half a dozen candidates from India.
That's for sure. I think the whole world agrees with that. So the Indian youngsters are they are having a bright future. And again, I have mentioned this multiple times, I guess. But again, I can mention it again too. It won't be we all won't be surprised if there is a world champion from India one more time.
So, sir, your views on all the Indian teams specifically. So, Team A, Open category, Women's category, Team B.
Well, I think the Indian A team, who we had Hari, Sashi, all these experienced players, on their best day, they have also won medals for the country. So this is not the first time India is winning the medal. So Sashi has won the bronze medal in 2014 for India. At that time, again, we didn't have. Again, we had Adiban, we had Neki, these kind of players. But again, not 2,700 players. But again, with that kind of team, he managed to pull off bronze. All these guys were have done exceptionally well in the past, and again, they got 4th place, which is still not bad again. And B team, I think we generally speak only about the B team because of the young upcoming players. I think we have talked a lot about them. Even the C team had a reasonable tournament. I'm sure they could have done better, but I don't know if they were in the top of their form. But on the given day, all these 4 players were also I think the team consisted of Abhijit Gupta, Ganguly, Murali Karthikeyan. These guys have also beaten all 2,750 players in their best. So they are also capable of pulling big wins in the event. But okay, just that things didn't go that well for them. But nevertheless, they were doing a decent job. And the Indian A team also in the women's section, as we spoke about, they were the tournament leaders. They were clearly in the going for the gold. But some final round, some heartbreaking moments happened.
Yeah.
But I think it's still okay, I guess. And the Indian B team also had experienced players like Soumya was there, Marian Gomes. These were players who were playing in my category, with me. I have played them in the same tournament so many years.
Wow.
So I think they also had wonderful tournament. I think they hardly lost to one game in the tournament.
Yeah.
And I think in the Indian C team, the 3rd team in the women's section, they also did a wonderful job. I think Nandita was playing for the second board. She was playing in the second board, and she also had a great tournament. I think she scored 8.5 out of 10. and she needed a draw or a win, I guess, to win the medal. But I don't know. I think she ended up losing the final round. But I don't know if she still qualifies for the medal. But I think it's still unbelievable.
Unbelievable, yeah.
I think she gained like 35, 40 points in the tournament, which is amazing.
Wow. It's amazing.
And it was not again like weak players and all. She regularly played 2300, 2400 players throughout the event. So, which is still an achievement by itself. So I think overall, all 16s, I think they did a wonderful job. They had a great event. I'm sure this is going to inspire like millions of young kids who are watching this game eagerly. See, this is how it comes, right? Like, watching Kapil Dev, Sachin Tendulkar come.
Yeah,
And I'm sure
yeah.
like watching these people play, like I'm sure like we'll have many more Anand, many more Pragnanas, many more Mukesh kind of people in the future also. So I think that's
Definitely.
great for the Indians.
I mean, yeah, I mean, the whole chess Olympiad thing inspired an alien to come to Earth and speak with us. So I'm sure on Earth, the influence will be much, much more compounded and snowballed. So, okay, Arun sir, I mean, congratulations, Team India, for all that you've achieved. You've made the country proud, and all my friends happen to be from India. Arun sir, Aarti ma'am, Charvi, and Abhimanyu Mishra, whose name is Indian at least. So, yeah, thank you so much, Arun sir. Now I will reveal what we have been waiting for every day, the treasure hunt winners, what people have been waiting for every single day and guessing and commenting, religiously commenting on HobSpace Instagram post. So, my friends, I know you have been waiting for me to reveal the location and winners of the treasure hunt. The locations of yesterday first were Amritsar and Darjeeling. Have you heard of these places, Arun sir?
Yeah, definitely. I've been there.
Oh, you've been there, great. So both of
I've
them
been there.
completely different places, but I mean, amazing as always. I visited the Golden Temple and saw the tea gardens in Darjeeling. It was amazing. So it is finally the time. So, are you ready, Earthlings, to hear the names of the winners? All right. The names of the winners of the treasure hunt are winner number one, we have Rehan. Congratulations, Rehan. You've been commenting religiously and regularly. You've been commenting and you've been guessing the landmarks correctly. You've been paying very, very close attention. You've been listening to all of our hints and following all of our instructions. So, congratulations, Rehan. Winner number two, we have Puruhutika. Yeah, that's a very nice name, Puruhutika. Congratulations to you as well. Winner three, we have Kalyan Srinidhi. Congratulations. Is any one of you there in the chat? Then please reply. Rehan, Purutika, Kalyan, Srinidhi. Okay, so we have three winners. But wait, we have one more final winner. We have G. Sai Ashrita, which is the fourth winner of the treasure hunt. Okay, so these four people, thank you so much for your engagement with us and your comments and everything that you've been doing, sharing us with your friends. It was lovely getting to know you, and I am your friend now, and it's very, very good to see you every day on this chat. Okay, so these are the winners because they have been giving answers to the treasure hunt since day one, Arun sir. These lucky winners,
Congratulations, all the winners, right? Exceptional job. Like I'm sure you have been following the Olympiad closely, and definitely going to inspire you to get great height. Amazing.
Definitely. And Arun sir, these lucky winners would be getting 4 free lessons from HobSpace.
Oh my God, I wish I participated in this.
That's amazing, Arun sir. Well, I mean, I wish I also could study chess at HobSpace, but I'm an alien after all, and I need to go back to my galaxy and my place where I come from. So it is a little bit heartbreaking for me, Arun sir. That, but I'll be sending you, radio mails. Is that all right? I'll be sending you a device.
Definitely, I'll be looking forward to it.
Yeah,
and I'm sure, as we planned earlier, we should have the intergalactic match sometime.
Oh, yeah, definitely, Arun. So we should have an intergalactic match, and we can have you as a coach or as a player, as and when you like. And would you mind if I just, teleport myself after the stream? If I can teleport myself to your place and make a clone of you, and then take it back to my place, is that all right?
Sure, definitely.
So I can have a personal Arun sir coach. I can have a personal Grandmaster Arun of my own to coach me, and then I can play against you. So then it will be very interesting, Okay, so Earthlings, as heartbreaking as it is for me to, go back to my planet, I think I have to at some point and tell my people about Chess Olympiad and HobSpace Station. So if you want to follow further events, please subscribe to HobSpace channel. This is one new word that I learned yesterday. So if you subscribe, you will get all the updates, and follow us HobSpace on Instagram, right? Follow them on Instagram, follow them on Twitter, every platform. You will be getting updates. You'll be getting more such streams possibly with grandmasters, and I'll be getting to meet you someday soon as well. And you might get new treasure hunts, new gifts. So a lot of exciting things await you in the future. On that good note, Arun sir, do you want to add something?
Well, thank you for having me here. It was nice talking to you, Spencer, and I wish to see you sometime soon. And thank you all for having this stream and following us regularly. And yeah, we have come to an end. It was nice. The last 10, 15 days. It was amazing. Thank you all.
Okay, Earthling. So on the final note, I've become, so human-like since the time that I came on Earth. I had a lot of fun. I learned chess from woman Grandmaster Aarti ma'am, Grandmaster Arun sir, and played with the youngest GM ever. Met some of the funniest humans from HobSpace. Thank you so much, HobSpace, for letting me stay at your station. And I traveled across the globe, sir. I saw so many different places. Saw the chess Olympiad in Chennai. I feel like staying on this beautiful planet for more number of days, and actually like more number of galactic minutes, to be honest. But my holidays are ending today, and I have to go to the planet quickly and share my experience with my people. I will tell you everything that I will tell them everything that I learned from Hop Space Station. I will in fact insist my friends to start taking chess class from Hop Space. I will set up maybe as a radio signal station on the moon so that we can connect more frequently if they want, because they have my friends, Adi ma'am and you, who can take the master class. Okay, friends, so time to say goodbye, everyone. But maybe I will return to this planet later if I get holidays again, right? I'll keep visiting Earth. So till then, don't be sad, Earthlings. Until next time,